Hi. How are you? How are you guys doing? So I'm gonna bring in our guest for today, who's Jainee Gandhi. There she is. Hi,
Hello.
Jenny. Hi. So nice
Hello.
to meet you.
Same here. I'm just trying to make sure that my face is fully visible.
Yes,
Yes.
it is perfectly now. Lovely. Thank you so much for doing this with us. I'm very excited to have this chat with you.
My pleasure.
Uh, so for I think even for us, Jenny, since we're getting introduced for the first time, I think firstly would love for everyone who's joining to know, Jenny has been a person stylist, somebody who's been helping consulting on image thousands of women across the globe, and she has a wealthy experience of 14 years. And I think I love the fact that Jenny believes that you don't have to buy hundreds of pieces. You can use the pieces that you have in your wardrobe, really invest in good pieces and make the most of it. So that was really interesting. And I believe in that perspective personally, and especially when we're talking about a world where fast fashion is growing, fortunately, unfortunately. I thought that this was a very interesting perspective. So, Jenny, thank you so much again for just coming and speaking to RareReach's community. It really means a lot to us, and it's a very fashion forward community, and yet a very, if I'd say, ignored community almost, right? In India, when I worked in Dubai and Singapore before this, and I always struggled with finding clothes, but there were still some brands doing like a petite section.
Yeah.
Not super helpful, but it was there. But when I came back to India, I actually realized that there are maybe two or three brands that even have a petite section. It is meant for women who don't have bodies that Indian women have. So it is a very ignored section, interestingly, in a country which demographically has a shorter frame. So that's really the community that we're building, also the brand that we're building. So this community really values how to understand style. It's something that we haven't really had so much of a thought or perspective on. So it would mean so much for someone with all the experience that you have to come and share. There were like hundreds of questions that we've received, so I've had a chance to just
Wow.
handpick a few. But that by itself tells us that, this is something that people have really been craving for, wanting for so long.
Thank you.
Lovely. Okay. So, Jenny, of course, I think there is a typical structure that we go about a bunch of questions that we had. But the objective is firstly just to understand your own journey, because if you started this back in 2010 or before,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
that point in time, I believe styling was perhaps still a very unconventional choice. It is even today. So, just understanding how you got into that, what your experience with petite styling has been, some interesting questions that we normally receive from people around, who like the women in our community who want to know. So we've handpicked those questions as well. And then, of course, to everyone who's a part of this session, we always keep this very interactive. And I keep on tracking all the questions that you're asking through this question button that you see. So feel free to keep on asking those questions. And if I see like a common thread, we're going to put all of them together and try and ask Jenny as much as we can. So with that, I'll just start, Jenny.
Fantastic. Hi. Thank you, Anu, for having me. It's very interesting to build a community like this. I actually don't know anyone who has a very specific community, working with or for that community. So it's interesting to have someone for petites like this. Let's just put it like that. In terms of my journey, yes, 2010, when I think about it, because my journey has been so interesting, it has been on and off again. I like to quote, I don't know, maybe if all of you are too young, you won't understand, but how Rachel and Ross from Friends, we were on a break. That's my relationship with
No, not too old for that.
I
Not too
am
old
on
for
a
that
break,
at
but I'm
all.
not on a break, sort of, even when I am on a break. So,
Got it.
when I actually started this in 2007, my
Oh,
very first
okay.
business in image consulting and styling. Nobody understood what it was. I shut it down and restarted in 2010. I have done my first course from India, then from Singapore, Australia, and US. So I've made sure that I have learned enough now to say what works in the Indian diaspora or with the Indian market and what just
Hmm.
doesn't work. I'm also, when I started this business, I started this with the aim of, say, corporate styling because I was a
Hmm.
headhunter before. So it came very naturally to me to advise executives on what they should wear, what they shouldn't wear. But as fate would have it, I started getting more senior women executives that I was working with, and not so much
Interesting.
as men executives that I thought I would because that's the demographic I used to
Hmm.
work in my corporate job. When I started working with women is when I realized that irrespective of what we achieve in life, there are so many things ingrained from childhood that we think and internalize about ourselves that we don't reach our full potential personally because we are engulfed in those things. So that's a very philosophical thing that I realized that happens with a lot of women. But my journey started with that. I have done quite a lot of work after that. And then when I moved to Singapore, I used to head styling for one of the fashion tech companies. And then when I moved to Canada, I was like, you know what, maybe I need to take a break from this whole styling business. And I went back to my old role and I'm back to styling again. So that's what I mean by I'm on a break situation. But in all these cases, I might not be doing something full time, but I've always worked with clients and I always built this Instagram community with the thought that as much as styling is an important part of how we present ourselves, it's also very important to not get drowned in the noise of what the world is telling. We are in a day and age of social media where there's so much consumption of information as well. We did not, even when, as a stylist, if I wanted to say that, what I'm sharing is true or not, I had to go to Google and read so many articles to make sure that what I believe in is right, because I can see proof of other people also doing it. Or sometimes go with your gut and say, this is what I want to do it. But now with the information overload from various social media channels, either it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, you want to know how to wear this jacket 10 different ways, you'll get 100 different ways because there will be so much overload of information. Now, the overload of information also means that there is overload of products, because what is this information ultimately leading to? The information is ultimately leading people to buy new things. So I started my Instagram with a very thoughtful community perspective that yes, I love dressing up. I absolutely love dressing up. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to wear something once or twice. And because it's pictured on social media, I'm not going to do it again. The whole stigma around getting pictured for social media and on social media and then not wearing it is a stigma I want to avoid and tell people that it's really okay. So that has been my journey without getting, I don't know, too philosophical of sharing why
No,
I do.
absolutely. Absolutely. I so relate with that because I think even for me, when I started RareReach, it was exactly this. There was just so much of conversation around this is what you should do. This is what you should do. You have thousands of people that you could potentially listen to, but ultimately, you don't have to change your style because 10 people are telling you to do something. You just have to find your voice, your own voice through it. If that means that you're following trends, fine, but just don't follow trends for the sake of following trends and really understand like a lot of people really don't know what their body shape is. And I have actually been researching your content. So Jainee, was a banker. So when I first got into building RareReach, I actually started studying a lot of like credible educational information. And I found like you've spoken about diamond body shape, a lot of body shapes that are very like less known also. So I think there is a lot of merit in understanding one's body shape and then like really dressing up to that based on the occasion, based on what's comfortable to someone. So completely agree.
Thank you.
Um, the other question that I had was that I think you've also been quite vocal about fit challenges or brands that you admire. I've seen that, for example, if you're talking about blouses, flexible blouses, right? So there are a few brands that you really like for that, for the functionality that they offer. Through your own journey with fashion as a personal stylist and also as a consumer, what have your fit struggles been? And what is it that you feel is still like something that is unsolved and not looked at or ignored?
In India, as much as we are the land of cotton, with the land of prints, the block prints and the ikats and silks, and we we don't have to, in fact, reach out to just wearing solids. We are such a
Mm,
colorful country as such. I will also tell you that when I left India, and specifically when I left Asia, now that when I'm in Canada, I can see things that Asia can learn from Canadian or American markets when it comes to clothing. When you talk
interesting.
about size inclusivity,
Mm,
what brands offer here, I
mm,
often feel that why can't India replicate that? Because we have
mm,
people. I'll give you a simple example in your active wear, okay?
mm,
I go to a Nike or an Adidas, the most popular stores that you could think of. The models are US 20, their mannequins are US 20.
mm.
So they don't have a standard mannequin or a picture of a standard, like a thin girl or a thin guy just talking about their thing. They will have the leggings portrayed on a heavy body versus a slim body. And that is what size inclusivity is. I will walk into that store because I know I'll get my size because I can see the mannequin that's there. When it comes to bra sizes, when it comes to petite, regular, tall, most brands will have that, which is such an impressive thing, which I often wonder why India is not offering. So I would say that it's very difficult for me to talk about fit challenges or style challenges because I shop for my clients from across the globe. I
Mm.
also shop a lot of things from North American brands, which makes it easier. But if I only have to rely to Indian brands, I will say that Petite as a pop, except for the regular bodies, India does have challenge. If I can be very
Absolutely.
in
Absolutely.
the Indian brands and Indian markets expect you to be between 5'4" to 5'6". They expect that you are going to be between a UK. So when you say SMNL to put in actual numbers, they're expecting that you are going to be anywhere from between a UK 6 to a UK 16.
Absolutely.
That's it. If you are this standard body, then they have tons of options for you. But the moment you are this side of the spectrum or that side of the spectrum, everyone struggles. Everyone struggles. And this is what I don't realize, because if you look at our fashion schools, we are pumping out fashion students more than anywhere in the world. We have brands local, because I do these brand recommendations. I will tell you that from year on year, I don't realize, when did this brand come? Why do I not know about this? Like, if I am doing a brand recommendation on 5 places to buy summer dresses from, I can do that series for 50 more times. Because there are at least 200 brands out there doing good summer dresses.
Very true.
So my point is, if there are 200 brands who are doing good summer dresses, why are at least 20% of them not catering to a different demographic? Why is everyone selling to the same person? Because how much is the same person going to buy? I will say that's the biggest challenge when it comes to just Indian market. Like, I do find this challenging if I have to recommend someone who's petite or tall or even a little bit plus size than what the market expects. It is absolutely challenging to say that this is, or you spend more money and get it customized. That's the only solution. But otherwise,
Okay.
I don't see brands doing good work when it comes to various lengths for people or various sizes for people.
Very true. I completely agree with that. And in fact, I feel that even from a size perspective, when somebody does, let's say, plus sizes, unfortunately, I've seen most brands just assume that this is the kind of silhouette that you should be styled in, or these are the kind of prints that you should wear, or these are the colors that you should wear. So most brands just assume that because it's plus size, you should wear darker colors, or you should wear bigger prints or smaller prints, or you shouldn't wear prints, you should just wear solids, or you shouldn't wear bodycon dresses, for
Or the
example.
stretchy fabrics. Like, I don't know why they should retire. If I could, I want to ban those things. Like the stretchy overlong t-shirts that, hey, you are plus size, this is what you should wear. But no.
Exactly. And the part that you said, even about mannequins, I completely agree. Because for me, not just going to a retail store, but even when I'm shopping online, I don't even see petite models. How do
Yeah.
I know that this garment that looks so nice on a 5'8" model will look nice even on me? So when I receive it, it's a very poor experience. And I think that's what people then take back. They feel that a lot of women feel that there's something wrong with my body, you know? Oh, it looks so good on her, but it doesn't look good on me. But the point is that it is not made for you. It's not your fault. So that, I think, just is a very poor circle that one becomes a part of.
My again, another experience with the Indian market, and I'm talking about smaller labels on Instagram actually, because it's very difficult to go and tell a Myntra or an Ajio. People are buying from there. They don't have to change their ways. Unless people stop buying, they don't have to change their ways. But I will say that in my experience, when founders who start these fashion labels, they typically cater to their body, in the sense that if I am plus size, I empathize with plus size people and I will buy a brand which sells bigger sizes. I don't see that with petite. But I know a lot of
100%.
I know a lot of founders who are petite themselves, because I sort of know them. I follow them on social media. I've seen them and I'm like, okay, you are petite. You know what is a challenge for a 4'11" or a 5'1" or even a 4'8" person. Why wouldn't you then design? Because you know firsthand the challenges.
Absolutely.
Why do you want to design for a regular person? Because I see that maybe I have a very philosophical mindset and I don't understand the business angle of it, that it might not be profitable, but I still feel that it could if you're marketing well. There's no one right now in India doing that.
Absolutely. I so agree, Jainee. I so agree. And it's a huge market. The
Yeah.
average height of Indian women is 5 feet. So by any cut, you are not like, it's not niche. We are saying it's niche, sure, because it's new, but it's not niche.
Yeah.
But let's see. I think hopefully these are the kind of conversations that we need to be having, raising a voice. I think so far the first thing that we wanted to solve was body confidence, feeling that it's okay to be petite. There's nothing wrong with you. Also creating awareness amongst hopefully parents. We're working with a couple of inner child healing consultants as well. So kids feel that it's okay if there are parents who are making comments about your height. How do you deal with that? And on the other side, working with mothers to educate them and say, if your kid is not having complan, it's okay. You don't have to make them feel bad about not having complan. It's not a big deal. And also on the bullying side, because one thing that I felt is we can't comment on one's weight, we can't comment on one's skin tone, but it's still okay to comment on one's height. But that is also height shaming. So I think all of these conversations, once they start happening, people will start to realize that this is a completely ignored consumer segment, and what is it that we can do in this space. So that's really, I think, the mission for RareReach as well.
Thank you. That's commendable.
Yeah, it's my personal struggle as well. So I think that's really where it comes from. I'm petite, I'm 4'11". So a lot of personal struggle, body confidence struggles, of course, fashion fit struggles. And that's really sort of, I saw that happening 20 years later with my younger cousins. And I was like, how is this conversation still the same? Mothers are having the same conversations. Kids are still feeling bad about their bodies. So we might as well really like start focusing in this area. So I think now, in your experience, having worked with thousands of women, Jainee, I'm sure you worked with a lot of petite clients as well. Do you see that there are certain common misconceptions, certain common themes, or thoughts that keep coming up in their mind that through this platform you would like to clarify?
I have worked with like a fraction of petite clients, but the first thing every time that I get a petite client is my absolute first thing is to tell them, please stop buying from kids clothing sections. Because I understand. I understand that when someone's 4'11", and I'm just taking your example here, Anu, I understand that when you're 4'11", when people are not making pants for you, a 14-year-old average size kid that they assume the pant fits well. And I understand you're buying a jogger for regular wear, comfortable. I'm absolutely okay. But don't make it a habit to just explore that. When it comes to petite size, people only look at the height and they say, I'm not going to find it. But if you go to regular stores and you look at cropped style, that could be your workaround to buying something that fits your height. Like a crop top could become like a regular length for you depending on how your upper torso is. Now, there's a lot of ifs and buts, because when I say petite size also, people forget that there could be a petite person who is wider on their body. So they could be petite plus size. People always assume petite matlab thin and short. Lean, right? That's not the case. Petite could be so much in between. So I will say first figure out that, okay, height, second what. So the first thing that I do with my clients is that we're not going to buy our clothes from kids section. And I have a major pet peeve with influencers who are petite also, who very vocally say that they're going to Zara Kids and buying. And I'm like, please don't do that. Like, go and buy, but don't promote that. That also kills an internal confidence. Not everyone is confident enough to, happily say that. Sometimes I feel, but I don't get to do that. So I'll say, don't kill someone else's confidence. Do what you have to, but don't kill someone else's confidence thinking that I'll have to do that. Number two, when it comes to petite styling, I want people to understand that besides your height, I have a simple formula when it comes to body shape, and it's part of height as well. You highlight what you like and you camouflage what you don't like. In our styling, we always camouflage what we don't like, but we don't highlight what we like. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, if I have assumed, or if I think that I have a heavy lower body, or that my height is shorter than my friends, or that I have a heavy bust or heavy arms, whatever part of body we don't like, okay, it could be anything. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, we're constantly just looking at that part. So if someone's petite and they feel that, hey, I'm 5 feet, nothing looks good on me, then as gorgeous as they might have dressed up, they will look at themselves in the mirror and kill that confidence instantly, because they have internalized that nothing looks good because I am short. So that's an internal dialogue and a mind shift change that one needs to have, that, okay, you know what am I going to do about it? I tell this to all my personal clients. I actually make them sit down and write down, just tell me what you don't like about your body. Just write that down. Make a list. Be as critical as you want, I don't care. But make a list of what you don't like about your body. Once they give me a list, and I will tell you, in my last 15 years, people have not been able to write more than 4 or 5 things. It's not that they're writing a page full of what they don't like. If I actually make them sit down and say, just write. You take half an hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour, but write down every single part of your body that you don't like. People are not able to write more than 4 or 5 points. And I do the same thing, and I tell them, why don't you write what you like about your body? And take as much time as you want. And that list really goes to 10 to 12 points.
Oh, beautiful.
What I'm trying to say is that if you really sit down and write what you don't like about your body, it's not much. In truest sense, it's not much. And then I will tell people, okay, 4 things you don't like about your body. Let's just accept that. Let's just accept you don't like your height. Since we're talking to a particular community here, I will tell all of you, you know what, just accept you don't like your height. So what? Let's move on. If that's the reality of your life, let's just move on and say, now tell me what you like about your body. You don't like your height, but there is something that you like. Is it your hair? Is it your skin? Is it your shoulder, your collarbone, your nails? And I know it sounds very vain, but a lot of people come and tell me that I have great nail bed, which in my head, I'm like, are you serious? Who's looking at that? Like, and I realize people who don't like their nails might be coming and telling me because they see this. So jokes aside, what I'm trying to say is sometimes you don't identify and you don't realize that you like things about your body, but you're so engulfed in what you don't like that you don't style yourself. So these are 2 major things that I tell all my clients when I'm working with them is, first, you will stop buying from kids section. And second, let's accept that you don't like your height and we move on and we figure out what will work for you. Because there are various things that will work for you. You just need to figure that out.
That's awesome, Jainee. That's a really beautiful perspective. And the fact that you said that, okay, people just have 3, 4 things to write about what they don't like. That's also very interesting, because like I was thinking about my own self. It's very true. Only few things that I don't like and so many things that I like. So it's a complete flip.
It's like a mind shift change that, you know what?
Yeah.
Just write down, they don't like this. Okay, kya karu? It is what it is. What can I do? I cannot magically increase my height. I cannot constantly be in heels. And even if In your case, you're 4'11". How tall of a heels are you wearing to look 5'4"? You're not. So then why put yourself into that painful thing and constantly feel like that? Confidence is more about what you feel about yourself and not the world makes you feel. The world can only make you feel what you already feel about yourself. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Like if I'll give you an example. My 10% of my life is on social media, right? None of the negative comments ever impact me anymore. At the start, it did. I started in 2018, 2019 very seriously. It did at the start. I'll also say I'm very lucky to not have so much hate on my socials. But whatever I get, it doesn't impact me because I will say it would have only impacted me if I felt that about myself. But I don't. A 90-second reel is not an insight into my head. Maybe I said the wrong word and I accept. I shouldn't have said this, but it's in the flow of talking that I might have said it. But a 90-second reel, it's not my life. You cannot judge me on that. So similarly, for people listening to this who are petite, who feel that their height is at a disadvantage, I say, theek hai yaar, what next? You cannot throughout your life live like this and say that I'm short. Okay, move on.
Absolutely. And the thing is, even a lot of people feel that अगर हम heels भी पहन लेंगे, हम कुछ change भी करने की कोशिश करेंगे अपने बारे में, वो सब भी change कर दिया. Even then, if you don't find things that you love about yourself, you will just be feeling bad. Then तो कोई solution है ही नहीं, because you're just trying to fix something that is firstly not broken, and two, that cannot be fixed. Some things are beyond our control. So rather, if we focus on things that are very well in our control, that we love, then that thought of what we don't like will eventually perhaps even fade away. So we're not giving ourselves that opportunity, opening up that door for us.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So of course, I think we spoke about personal style, how it's very important that we find our voice in whatever we are wearing. There are so many women who can be of the same height, of perhaps the same body type or the same weight, but they can look completely different in the same outfit. So how is it that that can be achieved?
Oh, I wish Instagram had like this. I can do my hand gesture and it can show a couple of things. But just imagine that two people, even if you are 4'11", even if you are same weight, even if you are bust, waist, and hips, or in men, if their shoulders and stomach and everything is same measurement. But do remember that our muscles are also built differently. So two bodies can look very different in terms of their weight, their height, how their body placement is. So people cannot compare thinking that, oh, you and me are same height or you and me are same size. And it's never going to work. A size 12 person from petite to regular to tall, to even in petite or regular or tall, depending on their weight and how the muscles on their bodies are, they look different. There might be tiny things, not that drastic, but they look different. And yeah.
No, absolutely. I get it. Yep. Our basically what we're saying is that it's not just about height or weight. It's also about how our bodies are built, and it's also about how we style those outfits. So it's a combination of the two.
Of a lot of
And
things.
yep, and perhaps the takeaway there is that styling really does come into play, and understanding styling for your body. And even if you have a sister who is your twin, you may not style the same dress the same way. You share a wardrobe, sure, but you can still have very independent personalities.
Can I just say something very controversial here for
Please.
whatever audience we have? While knowing your body shape, while knowing what works for your body is very instant gratification, but in the larger picture of styling, body shape makes no difference.
Okay.
Like, truly, it doesn't. I start each of my personal client, my working, telling them what their body is, just so that for the first 2 weeks when I'm working with them, they get confidence of shopping or they get confident of styling. But by the 6th month of me finishing work with them, they don't even care what their body shape is anymore. We are so engulfed in knowing that, oh, I am a rectangle body, I'm a triangle body, or I'm this body, that we forget that there is a very important part of what personal style is. And once you figure out what your personal style is, you are able to actually style your body much better than just being dependent on the cages of your body. If you are a particular body type, say for example, you're petite and lower body heavy. So you read everything about, I am lower body heavy, I cannot wear this. I'm lower body heavy, I cannot wear this. Then you will get contradictory statements saying that, oh, you are petite, you should wear a high waist pant. Oh, you are petite, you should wear monochrome. Now you're confused. Oh, but for lower body, this is not there, but for petite, this is there. So how do you combine? It's not rocket science. Like styling is art meets science, just not that difficult of a science. So I will say that it's absolutely very important for people to realize that they need to know their personal style. Body shape will become secondary. It's just instant gratification that you want to know your body shape. When I do my videos, I try and avoid saying, I know people keep on asking me, oh, but I'm pear-shaped body, do this. And I'll do a couple of videos for that because it's instant gratification. But if I have to tell you from the core of it, I will say that nothing beats knowing your personal style. I have a YouTube video which talks about how to know your personal style, very tiny one, or I have a paid course that talks about how to know your personal style. But those are the two things. You don't even have to know you are a classic dresser, dramatic dresser. The 8 definitions
Mm.
of personal style that's there on Google, you don't even need to know that. You actually need to know what brings you joy when you dress up. Is it the print? Is it the solid? Is it the cut? Is it that, I found a deal? Or is it that I don't have to maintain the clothes? There's so many factors when it comes to dressing up. The moment you know that, your body shape is of no importance. Like literally. So everyone who's feeling that I'm petite and this is my shape and what can I do, I will tell them that spend some time with yourself and know your personal style. Your height won't matter, your shape won't matter. You have heavy arms, heavy stomach, heavy thighs, nothing will matter if you are confident in owning your personal style.
That's a beautiful insight. Makes a lot of sense. And I think when people do really spend time understanding their bodies, then it's just that, like, you know yourself and what works for you. I guess it's very similar to what we do for beauty also. No, there are so many trends that come. There's the sun-kissed makeup, there'll be minimal makeup, there'll be bold makeup, Huda beauty, and all of that. But then eventually now people know what works for our skin. So I guess somehow that also perhaps needs to apply to what our personal style. It's all personal. So there again, perhaps even body shapes come into that thing of trying to put yourself in a box when you don't really have to. But one of the things that you said, Jenny, was very interesting, which was just spend time with yourself, experiment with yourself, right? So a lot of people, and I'm going a little bit off topic of what we plan to discuss, but I guess it's very important also. People are very scared to experiment, or they don't even know how to experiment, how to start with experimentation. So if somebody just really wants to work on themselves in their own silos, in their comfort zone, and really start to understand what their style is, what would you say are 3 very simple actions, steps that they can take, so we can really like break it down for them and make it very simple for them to at least start with that journey?
Okay. The very first and foremost, and are we targeting only petite community right now? Is that
No,
your...
anybody really, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say people, the very first thing that you should understand is obviously, like I said, your personal style. Literally spend some time, know your personal style. After that, the top 3 things you can do to break from that mold of what you're currently doing and owning your personal style is, 1, do know that accessories play a huge role. And accessories meaning everything from your shoes to bag to jewelry to everything. It plays a huge role in putting a look together. Individual things are a different story, and I'll come to that as a second point. But first, accessories play a huge role. So go and buy good quality shoes that work for your body. Go and buy good quality bag. Go and buy good quality jewelry. You don't need a lot of things. You need less good things. If you're buying a lot of things, you will be cost conscious. If my budget is 1,000 rupees and I want to buy 10 things in it, I'm not justifying, not every 100 rupee thing is going to be nice. But if my budget is 1,000 rupees, buy 2 things of 500 rupees guaranteed with good quality and wear them again and again and again. That way you are able to also reaffirm your personal style and not feel lost as to now what. Number 2, what people should understand is that individual item and outfit are 2 different things. When you're talking about this jacket, this top, this accessory, individually they could look gorgeous. Are you able to put an outfit together with it? Make your clothes and accessories as an outfit and not a singular item. So when you're going to buy something from the shop, mentally think, am I able to wear this in 3 different ways? Will I be able to use it with my current wardrobe? Like what I actually own right now in my wardrobe, if I buy something new, is it going to be cohesive with my current pieces? Or will this, for example, a lot of people buy white pants without giving it any thought that it's summer or whatever and I need to buy white jeans or white pants. But then what? If you don't have a matching thing already, then you go and end up buying some tops and then you're just wearing that white jeans and that one top because you don't have anything already in your wardrobe. So now you're buying that one top and now that one top is just for this jeans. How many times will you wear it? You'll be so tired by the look that by 3rd or 4th time you wear it, you're like, you know what, I'm done. I wore this enough. But you've not worn this enough. You just did not think it through before buying it. So that's my second thing, that don't buy clothes, buy outfits. Don't buy individual pieces thinking that what will I do? Buy a piece that you can already ready-made think an outfit.
From your existing wardrobe even.
Yes, from your existing wardrobe. Don't buy singular pieces ever thinking that someday I'll match it with something. Then you won't. Like that's how it is. You won't. You'll wear it once or twice and you'll be tired. That what do? I don't know what to do with it. The third thing that I would tell people is stop being in the trap of black, white, and gray. Like this jacket. You're buying a jacket, a printed jacket. Don't kill the joy of this jacket by wearing a black top or a white top inside. No, spend some effort. Like stop being in the jail of black, white, and gray, of pairing that with everything. Color plays a huge role in putting your looks together. Just learn how to use colors. That's it. So my top 3 tips to building any wardrobe would be this, that look at it from a, don't look at like not a singular point, but as a cohesiveness on how to put a look together, and then break gradually. Don't go 0 to 100. Just because I'm telling you, don't go and buy all printed or solid pieces. Go step by step, do baby steps. Always make a note. You know how I teach my personal clients that, you know how we make grocery list. When you're cooking, aaj tomato khatam hai, I'll write down, I need tomato when I go Saturday for my grocery shopping. Do the same thing with your clothes. If you're dressing yourself up and you feel that, you know, I wish I had a golden hoop, write that down. How many times you're writing that golden hoop? If it goes more than 3 times, then go and buy that golden hoop. Because
Fantastic.
instead of just randomly walking in the store and buying anything, now you have a list. And if you follow this list, I have a wardrobe composition chart on my website. If you follow that for 1 year, I promise you after that year, your 100% wardrobe is going to work for you.
Wow.
Like it's never, my 100% wardrobe works for me. Even if I just close my eyes and pick 2 things and I know I'm going to wear this, I will be happy because I know my 100% wardrobe works for me. I might not be in a mood to wear a black dress today. That's a different story, but I know that 100% wardrobe works for me. So you have to follow that wardrobe composition chart to the T. And I promise anyone who follows that chart that after a year, your 100% wardrobe will work for you. So that's it.
I love this tip. Can I be honest? I'm going to follow this my own self because I shop for myself at the start of the year when I just gift myself things. And I'm always like, okay, I like this, but should I buy it? Will I wear it 10 times? So now I can build that wish list for me in a very thoughtful way. And the more I see something coming up, clearly that's where I should put in my money. So thank you. That's a fantastic tip.
Use the same thing that you do for grocery shopping. How do you maintain grocery shopping? You put a paper on the fridge or somewhere and then you keep on writing. I tell all my clients, stick a paper and a pen in your wardrobe. So you don't have to go search. I don't even want your phone. I want it in your wardrobe, a huge A4 size paper. And every time you feel that I wish this one had this, write it down. How many times do you wish that you had this? Like in my example, I'm very averse to buying a lot of black things. Like I have clothes in my black, but I don't buy a lot of black shoes or black bag. But in my corporate work, if I need, then I keep on writing, oh, I wish I had a black bag. I wish I had a black bag. Then I'll go and buy a black bag because I know that I'm wearing black bag to work often. But otherwise I wouldn't buy. Like there is no need. I don't have a very formal need to have a black bag or black shoe.
Lovely, lovely. I think this one is like a huge takeaway for me, definitely. And hopefully for everyone who's listening in, very simple, cost nothing, and will save you so much more. So hopefully you can apply this too. Okay, so now I think everyone is always looking for go-to tips to make outfits flattering instantly. So is there something that you recommend people could do for this? Especially petite women. This especially I think would be very helpful for petite women.
I would say for petite women, make color your best friend. Don't shy away from wearing colors. Don't break colors. Like don't wear black and white as top and bottom because it breaks the color. Wear cohesive, closer colors. You want to wear black pant, wear a gray top instead of a white top because you're bringing black and gray closer in color intensity than black and white. Wear cohesive colors. Don't have to stay in monotone always, but wear colors that are close together and not contrasting too much because that's going to cut your height. The same thing goes with shoes. Don't wear black pants and then white or beige shoes. You wear which is cohesive and the color. That doesn't mean you're staying in black. I'm just saying make sure that even if you're wearing maroon, what is the closest color to maroon that you can wear in shoes? The closest color could be tan or brown that won't break your color continuity. So make color your best friend. Learn how to keep color continuity. You don't have to be in boring colors and boring prints. Just ensure that you're keeping color continuity. And that's going to be your biggest style takeaway when you're dressing yourself. Like don't break your bodies with very harsh colors at various points.
Awesome. So this is again something that is very effective, very simple to apply. So hopefully that's something that you can take away, folks. Now, Jainee, I'm going to play a fun game. There were, of course, some questions that we've received, but these are pieces in my wardrobe. How do I style them? So there are a bunch of questions that I already had from the story, guys. But if you also have some piece in your wardrobe that you just don't know how to style, just write them in here and we'll try and pick a few. Okay, I'm from a very strict family and not even allowed to wear crop tops. Please suggest something that is not revealing.
When we think of crop tops, I feel people think of fitted t-shirts as crop tops. No one will stop you from wearing an A-line crop top. So an A-line crop top it's cropped in length, but it is loose. And that's why it's not going to stick to your body. So I hope that should be okay. But if purely just the length is an issue and if that doesn't work for you, like if crop tops are not, have you tried crop tops with high-waist skirts or high-waist pants? If you don't have a very heavy material to opt for high-waist, then the crop tops will not look crop tops. So if you already have pieces and you obviously nobody wants to just throw away things just because. Then the other way to manipulate your proportion is wear it with a high waist skirt or a high waist pant. Or in future, if you want to buy crop top but family is strict, then buy A-line crop tops. No need to buy like fitted crop tops. There are enough loose crop tops as well.
Okay. She's asking how to style white palazzo pants.
Um,
Talk about this.
I will say when we're talking about white palazzo pants, I hope the fabric is structured. If the fabric is not structured, just wear that palazzo at home and don't even style it outside. White is an absolutely tricky color to style in terms of bottoms. So my top tip is going to be, it has to be a very, when I say thick, I'm not talking about like thick wool and things, but thicker structured fabric. And once you have that, depending, I'm assuming that you're petite as well, Gopalakrishna Rani. And in that case, take your tops as pastels or beige or something which is keeping the whole color continuity and not like a maroon or a white palazzo. It's going to cut you. So things like that. Keep the color continuity. And I hope your white palazzo is, kurtis would work well, short kurti or longer kurtis would work well in palazzo. But because I don't know what sort of palazzo are you talking about, that's when I want to understand that. Even if you're doing kurti, a longer kurti up to your just below your knee will give you a good proportion to add height, but don't cut colors. So don't wear white palazzo with a very dark color. It's going to cut your height. Keep the color continuity and you should be okay.
Also, one of the things, Jenny, that a lot of us don't know sometimes are when we wear lighter colored whether tops, especially trousers, how is it that we can take care of the innerwear? So would you have any advice on how some like essentials that we should take care of, even if the fabric is thick enough, if there are any considerations on the kind of innerwear that we should pair with?
I will say a nude bra and a nude underwear is an absolute basic necessity in every women's wardrobe. So you should have those options. When I say nude, it's exactly your color nude. Like my face color and my chest color are shade different. So a nude is this color nude. If I'm buying a nude bra, same for your underwear. Like you have to have a nude color. Any lighter colors than you wear, any pastel colors, whites, the nude bra and the nude underwear should do the case. You won't have to then do it. One tip that I give people is that when you want to buy a nude bra or when you want to buy nude underwear, you take your t-shirt or lighter pant with you when you go shopping. Obviously, underwears you cannot try, so you'll have to just take it. But when you're buying a bra, when you're testing the bra, take that white t-shirt, wear it, and then see, can you see the bra? If not, then that's a great one. So test it out. Don't just assume that this is my nude color. Buy the exact shade of the nude color that works for you.
Lovely. Got it. Then there is another question from Shweta. Shweta is saying that she perhaps feels conscious to wear sleeveless. She's also 4'11". High five, Shweta, me too. And she doesn't feel comfortable wearing anything that's sleeveless. And she also feels that she'll get lost in the maxi.
100% you will get lost in the maxi, so you don't have to. But if you love wearing longer dresses, just make sure that they are this in between length between your ankle, like top of your ankle to just above that, like an inch or two above that. So you don't have to wear floor length maxis because that will drown you. So you can wear something like a midi for your length. So a midi dress is much better than a maxi length. I don't have solution for your sleeveless because you don't like wearing sleeveless is a lot to do mentally about why. I did a video on sleeveless pieces, on how to wear sleeveless pieces, and my top tip there is that you just have to wear it. Like there is no other way. There is no tip on what can be done. If you like wearing sleeveless, but because people around you has been constantly telling you that you can't wear it, or you feel whatever your personal restrictions are, you want to give it a try, there is no other choice but to just buy it once and wear it. Like there is literally nothing else. No style solution per se in this.
Absolutely. And one of the things, Shweta, that has worked for me is if I want to try something that I'm not very comfortable with, I wear it with people that are like my hype girls. So I'll first wear it with my girlfriends, right? And I, of course, like that's my trust circle. And then, of course, your trust circle shouldn't really be commenting. Hopefully, they're hyping you up. Or I'd wear it on like a solo outing. I'm just going to the mall where I don't care if somebody's looking at me or whatever. I just like for one day, I'm like, I'm going to give myself this one day and I'm not going to care about anybody's opinions. Whoever looks at me says whatever. You just need that one day to try. And that one day, even if you're feeling bad, it's okay. Just fake confidence that one day, right? If after that day also you're feeling like, okay, now I'm not really sure about this, then okay, maybe it'll take another time. But what if you realize that, oh, I felt beautiful and I didn't give a damn about who thought what, and I just went about my day, then that can become a practice. So these are like some things that you can also perhaps try whenever you want to get out of your comfort zone. Okay, I have a crochet top and it has net sleeves and it is a short top. So what should I wear under and lower, or should I wear black bodycon dress under that And also, when wearing pants, what should I? Okay, I think Falak has a bunch of questions, but let's start with
Take
the
a question on the
crochet
crochet
top
top.
and net sleeves, and it's a short top. So, what should I wear under? So, should she wear a bodycon dress or should she wear a pair of pants? I think that's her question.
Crochet as a top, the idea is that you wear that as a summer piece. That's how the idea of that piece is. That when it's too hot and you don't want to wear something stuffy, that's when you wear crochet tops. Now, if you wear that with a bodycon piece, you're actually it's like wearing a short mini dress with thigh high boots. It makes no sense. I mean, for a weather like Canada, when the weather drops to 10 degrees, I understand. But for a place in India, barring 1 month in the north, nowhere this is required. If we're talking about crochet tops will require skirts or crochet tops will require pants. And just as a top, don't wear anything thick inside the top. It kills the whole idea of the top. Because crochet as a top is see-through, because the way it is done, if it's like very see-through, then I will say wear a fitted tank top inside, which you can tuck in with the top and wear the crochet top over. But otherwise, you will have to buy the inner also just at the length of the crochet top. Like, it's a very tricky piece. Next time when you're buying such thing, always think that will your current situation, either in terms of the strictness with your parents or just your personal situation, will you be able to wear it the way it is designed? Because if you buy a certain piece thinking that, oh, I will do later when I have to, you will end up thinking so much that you will wear it once because you wanted to experiment, and then you won't. So crochet as a top is made for summers, and it is designed with the thought that you will wear as is. If you're trying to make it too modest, it's not going to look great. It is worn, it is not a modest piece. It is worn like this. So if you try to make it modest, the only thing I can recommend is wearing the same color fitted vest or a slip inside and then wearing the top over it. But don't wear it with a bodycon. It will kill the vibe of the top and won't give you that great feeling of styling.
Yeah, but I think Falak was asking that follow-up question also. So Falak, you wanted to know that since these tops are revealing, how is it that you can make it more comfortable for you? So hopefully, these tips can help you. Tejasvi is asking, I'm very skinny. I don't know how to style myself. Actually, I get this question a lot.
But
A lot of people.
the thing is, and it's not just with Tejaswini, I would say that for people, there are two ways to go about it. Either you spend time and learn everything about your body type, your personal style, and work on it, or you hire a professional to help you do that. Okay, there are two ways to go about it. Look at it as nutrition. If your nutrition is failing, you're either learning so much about what works for my body, or you hire a nutritionist and you get someone else, an expert, to tell you what works for your body. It's the same thing with styling. This is a very broad question to say that I am skinny, what can I wear? I don't know what is skinny's definition for you? Like, what does that mean for you? Okay. Second, I don't know your personal style. What if I tell you that, hey, you are skinny, I would love for you to wear balloon pants and wear fitted top and a jacket. But what if you stay in a tropical place and the jacket is out of question for you? So it's an absolutely broad question to just answer anything. I will say that you are skinny. Look at it from an angle that you're able to wear a lot of pieces. Don't emphasize the skinniness if you're not happy with it. So don't wear any fitted pieces, top or bottom. Learn how to wear loose pants and looser shirts and give that style, give that vibe. There are enough influencers who are skinny, who wear like this loose. You don't have to, for example, Komal Pandey. You don't have to copy her 100% style because I don't find it practical. But sometimes she does this skinny looks. She's also petite, but she wears like these loose pants and loose shirts with a lot of jewelry. That's a great style that she does. So style has a lot to do with confidence as well. That will you be confident if I tell you that wear loose pant and loose shirt and wear a lot of jewelry and bring that attention up for your impact? So don't define your style by saying that I'm skinny, I don't know what to do. But that's a very
It's quite broad to be able to, I guess,
I'm not specifically to one person, but I feel that everyone who feels questions like this, it's a very lazy question as well. It's very broad and very lazy. What do you mean by, if I say that, hey, I am size 16, I don't know what to wear, but what size 16? Like, what does this even mean? So I feel that you have to be very specific in talking to yourself also. This is the question that you're asking here is exactly how you're talking to yourself. I am skinny, I don't know what to do, but that's not, you're just defining yourself with one body trait. You've not figured out what your style is, what you like wearing. Do you like wearing dresses? Do you like wearing pants? So unless you figure that out, it's very difficult to tell you that what will look good. It's a very, very broad question.
Yeah, that is true. I think all of the conversation that we've had, Tejasvi, is one, you need to understand your body. Two, you need to understand your personality, your own voice in what you're wearing. Anjali, I think you also asked a similar question, which is, I want to go to parties and I want to wear clothes, but I don't really know what it is that I can wear. So again, it's a lot about just really experimenting whether it's in your room, whether it's in your personal space, or with your trusted circle of friends, and seeing what you are liking about what you're wearing, and then developing on top of that, right? If we start from such a broad point of just putting ourselves in one category, is going to be really hard. Then we're just going to have to follow trends. What looks good on skinny women, but not
Yeah.
everything, like Jenny said, that looks good on skinny women might look good on us, or we may not like ourselves in that, right? So it just has to be a reflection of you. Fashion is very personal, very,
Oh
very
yeah.
personal. Anjali, hopefully, I know that this is the question that you really wanted to ask, but I guess similar answer that we'd probably have for you, which is party wear is again a very, very broad category. It'll depend on what your body is, what your comfort level is, what colors you like on yourself, and that's what you have to sort of try and experiment a few times. Okay, last question, guys. Always, every time in jean collection, I don't have good size. How can I check my jean size and on any brand?
You will actually have to go and try. I know people give this section of tie the waist around your neck and all. I don't believe in that. I don't think that really works. It's just a gimmick that works on maybe few people. Uh, be loyal to jeans brand. If you like a certain brand and you've like one piece from them, always make it your first stop to try and buy jeans from before you move on to other places. So you will have to try a couple of styles, and within that brand also, say for example, you're shopping from an XYZ brand. If you're buying from that brand, first step is that try a couple of styles from that brand. And if you are buying a jeans, say for example, for me, I buy a jeans that is size 13, size 31, which is a correlated to different brand. Levi's just the waist wise, some brands do size wise. So if I'm buying a size 13 jeans, I will also try a 12 and a 14. And if within the same brand as well, I will try different styles in aage piche ka size. Now, jeans is a very, very classic piece in our wardrobe, which we can combine so many different ways. So spend some time, go to a brand and buy, like try a lot of things and then buy that you're 100% happy about. If in the store also you're not happy, then don't bring it. So I will say, if there is one brand, like I love tapered pants from Zara. I love tapered jeans from Zara. If my current tapered jeans goes bad, the first stop I will do is Zara. First, I will try everything that's there because I know I like the fit there before I move on to any brand. So I'm very brand loyal when it comes to jeans because I know it works for me unless they discontinue that particular piece. So try doing that when buying jeans and buying the fit. Do remember the length becomes the most important part. Because we discussed this at the start, India doesn't have the petite, tall, or regular in jeans sizing. So chances of you trying to fit yourself in a regular size jeans is very high. In such a case, make sure that the crotch area fits you well and the length is proper. Like don't let the chudi happen, whether it's wide jeans or narrow jeans or fitted jeans. The chudi that happens at below actually reconfirm that you are petite. So don't do that. Make sure. And jeans is one thing where you don't have to go to a tailor and get the length done. You can just cut it because rough edged jeans are still very smart. So when you're buying jeans, please ensure these three things: that go try a couple of sizes in the same brand, couple of styles in the same brand. Second, make sure your crotch area fits well. And third, make sure your length of the jeans fits well for you to be happy. Buy only the jeans that makes you really happy and not something that, oh, I have nothing, I'll just buy it. Don't buy any such jeans.
Fantastic. And by the way, RareReach is changing this. So our brand does have height. So we're catering to women whose height is 4'8" to 4'11" and 5 to 5'2", and we have sizes from extra small to extra large. So this is exactly the point that we're solving, that we're not just looking at length, we're also looking at proportions. So as the height increases, the proportions also change according to that. So hopefully there are more brands that come up like that, and petite women have more and more options to shop from. But yeah, we really, really need this. And thank you for sharing these tips, because jeans really are an investment. They stay in our wardrobe for so long. So we might as well really like properly spend time and fits on getting it right. Awesome. I think, of course, the questions keep on flowing in, and they will. But maybe people can find their way to Jainee or to RareReach for whatever questions it is that they're looking for. Hopefully, through our DMs or through our content, there are enough and more ways for us to connect and ask the questions that we continue to receive. Towards the end, Jainee, I just like to, I think, say that there are a lot of very young girls, early professionals who are also part of the RareReach community, who are petite, who are beginning to slowly love their height, slowly understand their style. And you said that there are a lot of very senior clients that you consult with also. So clearly, throughout our working career, style is something that is evolving for us, that we're still figuring out, perhaps not always confident about, right? So to these young girls who are listening in, and whose professional working style or even at home style is beginning to now develop, we're turning into more mature individuals, more mature people, right? what would your advice be?
Style is knowing your style or knowing what works for you is an ever evolving process. Style will look different in your college days. It will look different in your early 20s as an early career professional or just as trying to figure out your life. And it's very important for you to let your style evolve organically. You will make mistakes. Even today, if I'm trying a new style, which I've never done, but I want to push my boundary, I might make a mistake. And do remember that the joy of dressing up is also in these mistakes. When you make the mistakes, you know that this works for you or doesn't work for you, and what can you do more. So the joy is also in the whole process and not just the end goal. That's not just the joy that I have to look stylish for one day. That's the joy. But in between, when you figure out those things, that's going to be an interesting part. For early career professionals, I will say, as much as we have a lot of social media influencers telling us what to wear to work and not, but I can tell you this with utmost confidence that modesty still plays a role in how we portray ourselves when it comes to professional dressing. The difference between social casual and business casual is that business casual has to be still a bit high on modesty level. I'm not saying that we have to wear covered necks and full sleeves. Wear your sleeveless, don't wear your strappy tops. No matter what anyone would say. Wear your jackets, your crop jackets, it's really okay. Wear your reds if you want to, that's really okay, but don't wear your crop tops. Even if it's like a cropped shirt, no. Even if you're in marketing, find creative ways to wear it. And I'm not saying this from a male gaze or from any perspective, but it's how you will feel. The more formally, smart, casually you'll be dressed at work, the more what you will feel that, you know what, I can conquer the world. The more casual you will be dressed, and there are various social experiments done on this. So I'm not saying this out of fluff or from a very high, mighty standpoint. There are social experiments that say that the way we dress impacts the way we think and the way we act. So if you dress casually and that becomes your dressing style at work, you will be portrayed casually and you will also feel casual. So if you are going to be a career person, I will say that what you wear will impact the way you think and way you act. So just do that. Like, be happy in that experiments.
Awesome. Awesome. So again, a lot of very, very practical, very easy to implement, and very, very helpful advice. So thank you so much, Jenny. This really means so much to us. We're just young, budding, out there to do something new and much needed. And for us to have the opportunity to connect with someone like you and for the community to learn really means a lot. So thank you for taking the time. I'm
Thank you.
seeing people saying, Jenny, you're amazing. Yeah, agree.
Thank you. Thank you so
Lovely. Have a lovely
much for
evening.
what you're building.
Yeah, I think much needed. It's my pleasure. It's now a personal responsibility, and let's see onwards and upwards for us.
Obviously, it's always the first step that's and then you find your path. Thank you, Anu. My pleasure. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Have a lovely evening. Thanks to everyone who joined as well.